Hello, welcome to the video of First Certificate. Yes, this is the First Certificate video. We are going to deal with the contents of the grammar contents of the unit. And well, please, I know you have the Google Classroom with Ellie, and there you can ask her your doubts, yes, if you have questions, and send your homework. But feel free to communicate with us and with me. My WhatsApp, my mobile phone is open for you, or the mail, yeah, so send me your questions and the idea is to keep that communication open and fluent, okay? Well, so let's deal with grammar. I will try to go slowly, yes? Let's see if I can be clear so that you can follow the explanation. Well, first of all, the book deals with ability and how to express ability. It's not something difficult, but it can be tricky in some aspects, okay? So, here I have like a summary of the aspects of ability that we are going to deal with, okay? So this is a summary of the points I'm going to mention and deal with. So first of all, for ability, we are going to work or to use can and be able to. Basically, we're going to deal with those two verbs or auxiliary verbs. Well, number one, I can tell you that can and be able to are sometimes interchangeable. Yeah, sometimes both can be used. However, can is more often, but we use be able to when can is not possible. I mean, can only has present and past. I can and I could. I can swim, I could swim when I was 5. In the rest of the tenses, I have to use be able to because can doesn't exist, it's not possible. For example, if I want to say, I have always been able to read well, in the present perfect, I have to use be able to. I am going to be able to drive if I continue practicing. After going to, I have to use be able to. After will, I have to use be able to. Okay, so can is only possible in the present and in the past. In the rest of the tenses, I have to use be able to. Okay? Well, then, when we speak of a present ability, both are possible, but can is more usual. He can swim very well. Okay, it's a typical use of can. For future ability, we have to use be able to, because after will, or going to, I can't use can. So I have to use be able to. I will be able to drive well if I continue practicing. Well, number 4, and this is the most problematic or important point, the past ability. When we speak of past abilities, we have to make a difference. The past ability can be general or can be specific. For general ability, we use could. And when we speak of general ability, we mention to a learned ability that I had in the past, and I did it, I could do it, yes, all the time because it was learned. That I could swim when I was a child, or I could ride a bike, or I could speak English when I went to primary school. They are learned abilities, yes, that in this case I had, and I use could. Now, when the ability is specific, and what is specific? When I say a specific ability, I mean something that I did only once. It wasn't something I learned and I did all the time. Something that I did only once. In that case, I'm going to use was or were able to, managed to plus infinitive, or succeeded in plus ing. So, for example, if I tell you, one day in the past there was a fire. There was a fire in the village. and I was able to rescue 10 people, or I managed to rescue 10 people, or I succeeded in rescuing 10 people. But it was something particular, something specific that happened once, and on that occasion I was able to do something particular. In this case, I was able to help or to rescue 10 people. It wasn't something I did all the time. It wasn't a learned activity, rescuing people from fires. It was specific. Okay, you understand the difference? So, general ability with could, specific ability with was, were able to, manage to, or succeed in. Okay? Now, if those abilities, if the sentence is in the negative form, both are possible. If it's in the negative, both I can use couldn't, or wasn't, or weren't able to in the same way. In the negative is the same. They act like synonyms, we can say. Okay? Okay, so this distinction is the important one. General or specific, and maybe that is the most difficult aspect of this topic. Then the rest is not hard. Okay? So this is important. And finally, for conditional ability, both are possible. For example, I can tell you, I could play better if I practiced more. Yes, it's the second conditional. I could play better if I practiced more. Or I can say, I would be able to play better if I practiced more. I could play, I would be able to play better if I practiced more. So in the conditional, when I am imagining, making a hypothesis, both are okay. Yes? Well, so this is all the grammar that you need to know to be able to work with the ability exercises that you're going to have uploaded in the Google Classroom. Okay? Well, the second part of the grammar aspects of this unit have to do with comparative and superlative adjectives and adverbs. Again, it's something that you have already seen, studied, practiced many times during these years of studying English. And this is what is going to happen this year. You're going to revise topics that you have already learned and practiced, but dealt more deeply in some cases, okay? So, let's have a summary of comparative and superlative adjectives and adverbs, and then we're going to go in detail in some cases. So, this is like the summary of the comparative and superlative that we are going to deal with. First of all, we need to know and to revise the rules. So, even though the rules are something that you should know and you should be familiar with, let's go through them in case you don't remember exactly. So, rules. First of all, when the adjectives have one syllable, we make the comparative and the superlative adding ER or EST. Remember that. And I wrote 3 typical cases to exemplify. Tall, we add ER, taller. Large, yes, the adjectives finishing in E only add the R, larger. And big, yes, to give you the examples of the cases that finish in consonant, vowel, consonant. Consonant, vowel, consonant. They double the consonant. Bigger. Yes, these cases are big, hot, fat, slim. Yes, those are the most common cases in which you double the consonant. Okay? Then we have the cases of the long, so-called long adjectives, which are the ones with 2 or more syllables. And in this case, I wrote the 2 cases that generally appear, which are the ones that finish in Y. So they have two syllables, heavy, pretty, easy. Yes, in this case I wrote heavy, but those are the typical ones. They have two syllables, but when they finish in Y, they act as if they were short adjectives, because the comparative form of heavy is heavier. Okay? Heavier. Sorry, I will write it here so you can see it. Heavier. So even though it has two syllables, we make the comparative form with the ER. And then we have the long adjectives like beautiful, and we use more and the most. Yes, more beautiful, the most beautiful. Finally, we have the irregular adjectives. Good, bad, and far. Good changes to better and the best. Bad changes to worse and the worst. And far has two possibilities. We can have farther or further. Remember that? Farther. I will write it down for you in case you don't remember. Farther and further. Farther and further. Okay? Good. Then, qualifying comparative adjectives. If I tell you that Tom is taller than Sue, Tom is taller than Sue, the only information I'm giving you is that Tom is taller. But I don't know if that difference is a big difference, a small difference, or yes, how much taller he is. So, when we use these words, we qualify the comparative adjectives. So I can use far, yes, far, a lot, much, considerably, yes, to use a big difference. So if I say Tom is considerably taller than Sue, it means that Tom is taller, yes, there's a big difference between them. Now, if I tell you not nearly as, a bit, a little, and slightly, the difference is small. If I tell you Tom is slightly taller than Sue, the difference is small, okay? And if I use no and just, here, it means there is no difference. For example, if I tell you it's no warmer than it was yesterday, it means that it's exactly the same temperature as yesterday. Or it's just as cold today as it was yesterday. It's just as cold today as it was yesterday. No difference. Okay? Well, and then here we have some other structures that we use to compare adjectives or adverbs. As, Tom is as tall as Sue, it means there's no difference. Or Tom isn't as tall as Sue, which means that Sue is taller. Okay? Comparative and comparative. What is this? This is, for example, when I say, when I was watching the film, I became more and more frightened. More and more frightened. Or while walking in the snow, I became colder and colder. I worked harder and harder. Yes, so I intensify the comparative with the use of and. Okay? Then, extreme adjectives. Well, extreme adjectives, most adjectives can be used with very or really. And when I make the comparative form, I use even. So, for example, I can tell you, yesterday was really hot, or was very hot. But today is even hotter. So with even, I intensify, I make it more extreme. Yes, hot, I make hot more extreme. And then there are some other adjectives. Here I wrote even and absolutely. Even is the case I told you. Absolutely. Yes. I can say, for example, I start again. Extreme adjectives. There are some adjectives called extreme. For example, cold is a common adjective, cold. The extreme adjective of cold is freezing. Freezing. Angry is an adjective, common adjective. The extreme adjective is furious. Angry, furious. Hungry is a common adjective, I'm hungry. Starving is the extreme adjective of hungry. So with the extreme adjectives, I use absolutely. Yes, absolutely. That's why I wrote absolutely there. So I can tell you, I was very angry. Yesterday I was very angry, but today I am absolutely furious. So I am absolutely furious. I am intensifying angry. Okay? Well, and finally, this structure which is used a lot, which is the. Well, pay attention to this, please. Here I wrote all the possibilities that we have. The idea is we have the, a comparative structure, a comparative structure. And it's to show cause and effect. For example, the more you study, the better results you get. The more you study, the better results you get. Más estudias, mejores resultados tenés. Yes, we have an action and the consequence. So, here I copied for you the possibilities. We can have adjective and adjective. And I wrote, the harder a task is, the more rewarding I find it. The harder, the more rewarding. I can have adverbs. I can say, the sooner we leave, the quicker we'll get, or the quicker we'll finish. The sooner we leave, the quicker we'll finish. Or I can have a combination of adjectives and adverbs. Yes? The harder I work, the more quickly I will finish. Yes, I can have a combination of adjectives and adverbs. More and more. The more you eat, the more kilograms you gain. Or the more you eat, the fatter you get. And I can have less. Yes, I can have more and I can have less. The less you earn, the less you can buy. After less, I can use a noun. It's not necessary. I can say the less money you earn, the less food you can buy. But it's implied. Okay? So this is used a lot. So pay attention to this structure. Well, so these are the grammar contents of the unit. With this grammar content, you can do the exercises that Ellie gives you in the Google Classroom. Okay? So with the combination. And again, I tell you, feel free to write to me, to phone me, we can have a video call, anything you need to ask questions and that you can advance and move on with the exercises, okay? If you have a doubt, please send it to me, write to me, and we can clarify it soon, okay? Well, hope to see you very soon, very soon. If not, we will continue, we'll find a way to continue and that you are able to advance with the contents, okay? Well, please keep in touch, okay? And well, hope to see you soon, one way or the other. Bye bye!